This Fight Back video will show you how to dismantle 7 common pro-abortion lies and help you defend the unborn.
You were right 100 times on the blackboard. I will be politically correct in class.
We don't say traditional marriage in this class. That is bigoted.
The Bible is not history.
The work of Darwin is irrefutable.
A fetus is just a clump of cells. We are all equal. Plants, animals, people.
All right, that's it. Enough is enough.
The abortion movement is like a house of cards. It's built on a flimsy foundation, propped up with junk science and misleading terms like pro-choice.
I am pro-choice. I'm not for abortion, but I'm pro-choice.
But when you look at the truth, the culture of death comes crashing down like a house of cards.
Do unborn children have rights? Not if they're unborn, because they're not children. What were you when you were in your mother's womb? I was a fetus. I wasn't born and I wasn't a child. Were you a baby? It's okay, thank you. Go along. Bye.
Lie number 1. A human fetus is not a human person.
The first thing the abortion movement does is deny the humanity of the unborn child.
It claims that a human fetus is not a human person.
But modern science is crystal clear. At the moment of conception, also known as fertilization, a unique organism comes into existence.
Since this new life has human DNA and is the offspring of human parents, it can only be described as human life.
Dr. Michelin Matthews-Roth, professor at Harvard Medical School, states, "It is scientifically correct to say that an individual human life begins at conception." Dr. Alfred Bongiovanni, former professor of pediatrics and obstetrics at University of Pennsylvania, stated, "I submit that human life is present throughout this entire sequence, from conception to adulthood, and that any interruption at any point throughout this time constitutes a termination of human life." And Professor Jaime Gordon, founder of the Mayo Clinic's world-famous program in medical genetics, adds, "By all the criteria of modern molecular biology, life is present from the moment of conception."
So it's obvious that the abortion movement rejects scientific truth.
Lie number 2. My body, my choice.
You know what? This is my stomach, and I get to decide what I do with it. You know why? Because it's mine!
A pregnant mother is carrying a baby.
It's my stomach, and I get to do what I want with it!
The life is not...
The unborn child is not a stomach or part of a stomach. It's a real growing person inside his or her mother's womb.
What it does is kill a small human person with its own distinct genetic makeup. It destroys the body of a separate, unique individual. That's why abortion is morally wrong.
Lie number 3. It's just a blob of tissue, not a baby.
Because if you're going to say that a fetus is just a blob of tissues, that's all we are as well. We're just a bigger blob.
The size is usually their argument, and I say, well, okay, well, just because my niece, who's 2, comes in and she's, way shorter than me, and then Shaquille O'Neal's in the same room, does that mean my niece has a less of a right to life than, Shaquille O'Neal?
Again, lie number 3 attempts to dehumanize unborn children by calling them blobs.
But we're much more than blobs because God created us with immortal souls. Every soul is a masterpiece that was made to shine in creation, which is like a beautiful rose window. Every person has a unique place in that window.
And God has a plan for every person. Dr. Landrum Shettle says, "There will never be another you. Not even if mankind were to persist for billions of years."
That's why abortion is a grave sin against the author of life, because it destroys a unique masterpiece of God.
Lie number 4. Abortion is a woman's right. Neither men nor women have a right to kill an innocent child. There's no natural right more basic and precious than the right to life. So how could the denial of this right engender a so-called woman's right to kill? It's impossible. Civil laws that deny a true human right are unjust and morally invalid.
True human rights come from our human nature as God made it, not from human fancy. Since the unborn child has a natural right to life, no person, court, doctor, judge, or politician can take it away.
Lie number 5. Abortion is needed to prevent overpopulation.
Even if the world were overpopulated, you can't perform an intrinsically evil act to achieve something good.
The overpopulation argument is false. The current birth rate in America is at 1.9.
Now, 1.9 is well below what demographers call the replacement rate, which is around 2.1 per childbearing mother.
Just to keep our population steady, the birth rate would need to be 2.1 or more, but we're only at 1.9.
Europe, it's even worse. In Germany and Austria and Italy, it's at 1.4. In Spain and Poland, it's only 1.3.
When the state of Texas alone is big enough to fit every living person on the planet, don't fall for the overpopulation myth.
Lie number 6. Abortion is needed in cases of rape and incest.
Society tells the world that you can't bring a rape baby into it, you know, that there's something wrong with these children and that they don't deserve to be alive. They don't deserve life. Had I done what society told me to do, I would have been robbed of so much joy.
When you make the rape exception, that's like saying to me that I deserved the death penalty for the crimes of my father. According to the United States Supreme Court, he didn't even deserve the death penalty. There's no death penalty for rapists. Even for child molesters, they said that that's cruel and unusual punishment.
Also, guess how many abortions are performed because of rape or incest? 1/3 of 1%.
So will the abortion movement ban 99.67% of all other abortions? Of course not.
Lie number 7. Abortion prevents poverty and suffering.
If you follow the twisted logic of this side to the very end, what would prevent the killing of, let's say, a 3-year-old girl whose life is deemed a burden? And by the way, child euthanasia is already legal in Belgium.
And also, what would prevent the killing of an elderly parent or grandparent who is considered a burden?
Let's connect the dots. What's the name of that man with an ugly mustache who sent mentally disabled people to their death in Germany? That's right, Hitler. And you know the rest of the story.
Utilitarian, selfish, and money-oriented arguments of the culture of death impoverish the family and society of honor and dignity.
The culture of death promotes one of the biggest pack of lies ever set in motion. Lies that have stopped the beating hearts of millions of babies. How can so much slaughter, numerically on par with Hitler's Germany or Stalin's Russia, be tolerated in the United States?
Edmund Burke once said, "The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing." We can say, the only way to stop abortion is for good men to do something.
Please start doing something by sharing this video, and remember, the abortion movement is just a house of cards. The truth will prevail. To get future Fight Back videos, subscribe here. God bless you.